episode of Andia Speaks. If you're new here, please go ahead and subscribe. For those who are already subscribed to my channel, please hit the notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. Yeah, so I am so excited about this because it's a platform where we get to talk about different issues. We talk about fashion, food, health, love. Yeah, so it's just a place where we, after the hustle and bustle in the city, at work, in the village, wherever you're from, it's like, we just come and say, "Us," just have conversations that build us, encourage us, yeah, and motivate us, inspire us. Yeah, so thank you so much for tuning in, and please make sure to tune in every single time I upload a new video. Yeah, so what we'll be doing while having these great conversations is having tea while talking, listening. Yeah. So on tonight's episode, we are having black tea. And this black tea is from my amazing country, Kenya. And it's Lipton Yellow Label. Yeah. And oh wow, this is amazing. I have not seen this and I've been having this tea for some time. It's so what's written on here is think positive, live positive, and it's nothing but positive vibes over here. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it short and sweet because this is our first episode, and tune in for more amazing stuff, amazing content. um yeah, I just want to share a little bit about black tea since we're having black tea. So as I was actually reading about black tea, there's one interesting fact that really, caught my eye. I was surprised really because of the way black tea is perceived back home, or at least, when, I was growing up and stuff, black tea was like a little bit shunned upon, for lack of a better word. Yeah, and it actually has a lot of benefits. So when I say black tea, in my head, I am thinking, or I know that it is uh, like plain water, hot water that, that comes to a boil with the tea and sugar. So that's, when I think of black tea, that's what I'm referring to. Yeah. And so this wasn't like really like for me, let me speak for myself. I wouldn't really like think of having, black tea, if that makes sense. Like if I really wanted tea, I would think, oh, tea with milk, Then I'll be like, oh yeah, I've had tea. Yeah. And normally, I don't know if that's the norm now, but if you come across someone having black tea, you'd be like, oh, you know, oh, maybe the person could not afford milk, or oh, why can't the person have the tea with milk? Tea is milk. Yeah, but like experiencing different cultures and actually, just seeing how people have their teas differently has really opened my eyes, my mind, into appreciating the different ways that we can have tea. Yeah. And this is also like one benefit of actually interacting with people from different cultures. It really helps in your growth. It really helps you look at things differently. Yeah. So for me, my narrow thinking about tea was you can only have tea with milk. And when you cannot have the milk, then that's when you resort to black tea. But actually, I've been enjoying just having tea without milk for quite some time. And so, yeah. So I just want to share with you like my experience with black tea and tea with milk. So tea with milk is what we would have like every morning for breakfast. And we would have this maybe like with bread. Um, Sometimes my mom would prepare like sweet potatoes, some of the healthier foods, cassava, which I wasn't really a fan of as a child. All I wanted was bread with, the the spread, the jam spread, and we would call it blue band, but I think it's margarine, yam, or butter and things like that. Yeah, but sometimes we were actually forced to eat, the roots, cassava, sweet potato, and we would eat them. Yeah, and in the evening, actually, the adults would have tea while we, the kids, would have porridge. And oh my, I did not like porridge. It was just so hectic. But the thing about life, it's very funny. Like when you're young, you don't really see the benefits. Because in our porridge, my mom would mix, would have like the millet, if I'm not wrong, and then sorghum, and she would have maybe like groundnuts in there. Yeah, so just things to like help with the nutrition and stuff. But even then, you'd just be like, do I really have to take this porridge? Do I really have to? Yeah. So the kids would have the porridge while the adults would indulge in tea. And also tea is what you serve visitors when when someone comes to visit. You serve them tea as you prepare something else, for them to have. So this is the role that tea plays in Kenyan hospitality. Yeah, it's very much part of our culture in almost all households, if I'm not wrong. You find tea, and it would probably be, the first thing you served when you visit someone. Okay, maybe they might start with water, but you'll eventually have tea at some point. Yeah. And so for me, tea just sparks beautiful, beautiful memories. To me, it's like a symbol of, togetherness, unity, something that brings people together, and especially in the village. My grandma has like huge flasks, huge, humongous flasks. Yeah, that are always filled with tea. Yeah. And so this is like for herself, for us, for those who are staying with her, for visitors. So it's just always tea and tea and tea. And when I say tea in this context, I mean tea with milk. Yeah. So that's the most popular kind of tea that you'd find in different households in Kenya. Well, according to my experience, that is. And you'd also, come across black tea as well. Not as much. I don't know if this has changed over the past few years, but I would like to believe it's still, the tea with milk is still still the most common kind of tea that you would be served. Yeah. And so today I chose black tea. One, because it's the very first episode of Andia Speaks. So I was like, what better way to start? This is really nice. Yeah. And yeah, so please go ahead and like this video, share your experience with tea. What does tea mean to you? Does it spark any kind of, memories, beautiful memories, I would hope, funny? So just share your experience with tea, yeah. And how do you use, how do you serve tea in your household? How do you serve tea in your country, in your, you know, in your community? I would really, really love to hear from you. And I'm open to trying different, kinds of teas. And that is actually what we'll be doing, every time we are on here on Andia Speaks, we'll be having tea. So next week, we might just have tea with milk. Maybe, maybe not. But why don't you tune in and find out what kind of tea we'll be having as we continue the conversations. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you all next time right here on Andia Speaks. Don't forget to bring your teacups.